Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Lineage Break, a Grand Archive podcast brought to you from the secret closet of our local game store, Webway Games in Marlborough, Massachusetts. I am your host, Cam, and with me is my glorious co-host, Steve.
How's it going, guys?
So, welcome to the show. Steve and I have been playing Grand Archive not for a terribly long time. I mean, the game's not even officially out yet. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, what, a month?
Yeah. We've been playing for a few weeks. We're actually very, we're late bloomers. Neither of us actually kickstarted the project. I'm playing the game because of a good friend of the show named George got me to try it. I'm an easy sell, and then I brought Steve into the fold.
I heard anime card game and I went full bore.
Right, yeah. So we've really been enjoying it, and we decided that it would be a perfect opportunity for us to start making a little bit of content for the game, mostly this show, which we are just going to talk about all things Grand Archive. And today we thought a good opportunity to have you guys sort of get to know us a little bit is to talk about our background with trading card games, just so you guys have a picture of when we say that Erupting Rye is like Shutterwalk or something. It makes sense because you know where our opinions are coming from. And then we'll talk a little bit about how we feel about the game. We are, as of the time of recording, Kickstarter hasn't even launched yet, so we're waiting on fulfillment from Kickstarter. So we don't even have physical cards really. So everything is sort of up in the air.
But shout out to Weebs of the Coast for making it super easy to just print the game and play while we wait for the actual cards to come out.
Yeah, I think the print and play it's super smart. Just to get people into the game, because it's a hard market to break into.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
definitely. There's so many card games out there. It's almost oversaturated. So I think they're doing a great job with the marketing and the print and play, and just the design in general of the game feels good.
Yeah, I think that especially with like all of these Kickstarter games, it's left a lot of like sour tastes in people's mouths, like Sorcery and MetaZoo and all of these things that are like having a bit of a struggle coming out on the other side.
Yeah.
We're very happy to see that Weebs of the Shore is doing a great job so far. But yeah, let's get into where we come from. Where did you go?
Cotton Eye Joe?
Yeah. So yeah, Steve, why don't you start us off? I know you have a fabled history of playing terrible bad games.
Oh yes. So started playing card games very young. Started with Yu-Gi-Oh! I think most people did, right? Yep. From Yu-Gi-Oh! We have, Zatch Bell. Not a lot of people played that game.
Yeah, that one's a weird one.
That's a weird one. Love it to death. Very cool mechanics. You had a book and you flip through the pages. Very interesting.
Do you still have that Zatch Bell card in your wallet?
Of course. I always have Zakara on me.
Got to keep that thing on you.
Yeah, got to keep it on you. But yeah, from there, pretty much played every major card game. Pokemon, Duel Masters.
Major card games like Duel Masters, of course, yeah.
Yeah, Duel Masters was a good one. Or better known as Kaijudo.
Sure.
Magic the Gathering is a big one in my life. I still play it. It's,
It's a game.
It's a game. But yeah, so extensive game history with everything. Force of Will. Also,
of course, yeah.
Very good one. R.I.P. Force of Will.
Yeah, they tried.
They tried. Company, not great.
Yeah, sure.
But anyways, but yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I've played a bunch of games. I've learned a bunch of games, and now I'm ready to play this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important, especially with the like the messaging that Weebs of the Shore has been putting forward. At least the way that I perceive it is like very organized play forward, competitive play forward. So it's important to have a background in that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Myself, less weird stuff as Steve. But yeah, I started at a young age, same as Steve, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But like when I played Yu-Gi-Oh! I didn't know any of the rules. I was like, I watched the anime and like.
You mean you didn't go to regionals?
No.
Every month?
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, every month.
Sick. When you were like what though, like 8?
No. I was 14.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's much more recent.
I mean, I'm as we say frequently, I'm a boomer.
Sure,
so
true.
14 was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was back in the 70s. I didn't even know Yu-Gi-Oh was out then.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when I was playing, it was like, pre-Battle City rules where I was just like, you can just like play Blue Eyes in turn 1, right? That's how they do it in the shows.
That works.
Yeah. So yeah, I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh, but that was less so an actual card game. And then I got into Magic in high school. That was around. It was like Return to Ravnica, which I guess is like a decade ago now.
Yeah, I mean that's
crazy.
Roughly where I started too.
Yeah. So I played Magic for a while, and then I played Magic like pretty competitively for a long time. Never got anywhere because I suck, but like you tried to play competitively, right?
You just lose on the bubble all the time.
Yeah. I'm ninth place for sure. Like you guys will learn, and I'm sure that you'll see me, at Ascent or whatever, missing any sort of cut. Right. Cut to people that get to play in the tournament, and I'll be in the last place before people get in.
I'm like a forever 13th place.
Sure.
I've hit 13th place so many times.
It's a lucky number.
In so many events. It's wild, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel that.
Well, hopefully there's prizing for top 16.
Right? Top 16 is great. I love getting that promo.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, after Magic, I've been playing Weiss Shores for a long time, which is at least sort of tangentially related to Grand Archive.
I mean, it is definitely
weeb card games.
Yeah.
So I played that game for a long time. I still do occasionally. I played that game competitively. Anybody that's played Weiss knows that that's kind of a tall order because that game is basically just rolling dice, the simulator. But
so as someone who's recently got into into that game space, I've realized that you're never going to counter damage, and then you're going to draw the card that counters your damage.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, no climaxes. Always eat 12. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then recently, as of the past year or so, I've been playing a lot of Flesh and Blood, which I think is a great game. That I'm sure a lot of people. It seems really popular in the circles of the games that are not Magic.
That's true.
Lots of people play Flesh and Blood, so I've been playing that game competitively as well. So I have a very competitive background as far as card games go. It is my sort of outlet for that competitive drive. And of course, we both have played all sorts of, god-awful digital card games as well. Shadowverse, Hearthstone.
I'm sure there's so many others.
I've been playing a lot of Runeterra.
I've tried to play a lot of Runeterra. Not very good at it.
It's a good game. So yeah, I mean, that's where we come from. And then lately, we've been playing Grand Archive and sort of dipping our toes into it. You and I both are not big fans of Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, the first time and only time I ever tried to play a card game on Tabletop Simulator, I accidentally flipped the table on my opponent.
Yeah.
And then didn't know what to do and panic quit.
Sure. Yeah, I've been there for sure. So yeah, it's a little bit tough for us to play the game, especially with no physical cards. Like not even like, oh, we just have to find the people that have Kickstarter product. Like nobody has anything.
Right.
So like again, shout outs to Weebs of the Shore for allowing print and play. If you guys have not tried the game yet and you're watching us for whatever reason that is, thank you. But go on to gatcg.com. They have a great way for you to just print out the cards officially from the website to try it out, which is great. They're also sending out like demo decks to LGSs and stuff. We should hopefully have ours soon, fingers crossed. But yeah, the problem with not playing on TTS is that a lot of the community for the game right now is playing on Tabletop Simulator, where of course we're in the Discord. We keep an eye on it and see everybody's deck lists that are posted and stuff. But I don't know. Also, me, a boomer, it's really hard for me to wrap my head around TTS. It all feels like very cumbersome and I don't know.
I would love just like an actual platform, like an automated system to just play the game instead of like playing the game as a virtual me.
Sure. Yeah, I think like the viewers can correct me if I'm wrong at some point, but I think they said at some point in their like Kickstarter messaging that was a goal for the future. Obviously, they're a very small team.
Yeah.
So like I think that'll take a while, but hopefully, I think digital clients are good as long as you don't handle it like a certain
other company.
Giant conglomerate.
Yeah.
The
one that constantly crashes and while you're trying to play it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. No shade. So that means that most of our playtesting for this game has been with each other. We have a couple of local people, and we've been trying to teach the game as much as we can. I actually, Phil messaged me today about running him a demo. So
yeah, he messaged me last night to get him added into the Discord.
Perfect. So we're trying to spread the scene, as much as we can, but it's hard with no cards, right? You can't be like,
right.
hey, you should try this card game. You can't buy cards for it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that once Alter comes out and we have like product on the shelves, we can sort of drag more people in.
Yeah.
But that being said, we've been trying to keep an eye out on the meta game, as it were. As of recording this, there was just a big tournament on Discord. I think it was last weekend, and they're actually running another one tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of data points. I like to see what people are playing.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, every card game that has ever existed has had the meta, and
Right.
I'm not saying that it's the good thing to do is to ride the meta, but I mean, if you want to win.
Well, I listen. All right, I gotta defend myself here in front of the audience, right? I am, I think, a meta net list gamer.
I wasn't gonna say it.
To an extent, okay? I have morals, all right? And especially when it comes to games like Grand Archive, like Flesh and Blood or whatever, maybe I can turn it off, right? But when it comes to Grand Archive, we're playing the cute anime girl game. I'm not. You won't catch me dead playing a boy. All right, like I'm here for a reason.
First off, we gotta talk about this real quick because Xander is great.
That's fine. You're allowed to have that.
I love Xander, and I've been crafting with him quite a bit. Actually, as you know, because we
I think he's quite strong.
He's good. Haven't quite found out the right niche for him yet.
Sure,
we got to get there.
Yeah, we will. We're working on it.
Secondly, there's plenty of girls in this game that aren't great.
Listen, I think there's one girl in this game that is not great, and I'm very excited to play her when Alter comes out. But we'll get to that a little bit later. So much to Steve's dismay, I've been playing a lot of Wind Lorraine. And Fire Merlin, which is, I guess Merlin less so, but the Fire Mage deck is very meta right now. It's our like de facto Storm deck. That's why I referred to it as Shutterwalk earlier, because it's stupid. And then Wind Lorraine seems to be the also the sort of de facto like mid range deck, card advantage board idiots.
Draw a million cards,
put a bunch of 1/4s on the board.
Yeah, real hard to deal with.
Yeah. So I've been playing those both. I like Lorraine a lot. She's very cute. So
the Rain very strong.
She's, I think, very good.
Yeah, and I just think that all of the wind cards that allow her to be even better.
Right.
Just make that deck just super fun to watch played.
Yeah, it's like I think it's the element as a whole. I think at least currently, it's like, I don't know, at least to me, it seems pretty clear that wind is the best element, at least out of the first set. Like the tools are just so strong.
Yeah, I can't find any way to disagree with you. I want to. I want to so bad to find a way to disagree with that.
Sure,
but, just cards like Reclaim and Wind Cutter.
Right. Yeah, Wind Cutter, Reclaim.
They're just so strong.
Favorable winds. They're all just like,
it's just,
they're so nuts.
Yeah.
I've been seeing the thing that I haven't put into my deck yet, but I've been seeing some of the people on the Discord do is playing 4 copies of Zephyr. Do you know what that card does?
I've seen it. I've not read it.
Yeah, it's a 2-mana fast spell that suppresses either an ally or a Regalia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you play one in Assassin similar that's a 2-mana suppressa thing.
Yeah.
But they play it in the wind deck, like as removal if it needs to be, but also to just suppress your own dudes so they get their ETB triggers a second time. So you like suppress your Tactful Sergeant, and then end of turn she comes back in and gets the on enter trigger. It's so good.
I don't like that.
It's so spicy. So yeah, I've really been enjoying that deck. I'm like a longtime Jund player, so I like mid range decks.
Yeah.
And cute anime girls, which is all of them except for like Esteemed Knight. But
and I've been playing pretty much everything I can put my hands on.
Steve's doing God's work. He's playing the things that aren't the broken shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to pave the path for my fellow jank players.
Sure. Yeah.
We gotta pave our path early, so when people are saying that, oh my God, I can't believe that Xander deck topped. they can look back on us and go,
and it's Steve. Yeah,
he was leading the charge.
they watched Lineage Break, and
Right.
they know that
Right.
Steve was there
Right.
in the beginning.
He walked so I can run.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
So yeah, I think at this point I've played every version of Xander.
I think so. Yeah.
I think I played a water Xander. I think I played
that was one game. That
Yeah.
one was pretty bad. The
yeah.
other two are.
Yeah, we won't talk
you
about
know,
the water
yeah.
Xander. That deck was very early on into my
Right.
game plan of
Sure.
playing the game.
Yeah.
Played a little bit of Fire Xander.
Sure.
I think that deck needed better construction.
Sure.
Currently on Wind Xander.
I think it's good.
Wind's good. It struggles early game.
Sure.
At least my list is struggling early game.
Sure.
With resource management.
Right.
But I think there's something there. I think the Luxem cards at level 3 are just phenomenal.
Super strong. Yeah.
And if you can get that combo going, it's really hard to stop.
Yeah, I think Xander in general he just needs some sort of like solid foundation. I know a lot of people are playing. Yeah, they're playing like Fire Xander, where you just like try to dump a whole bunch of floating memory to like power level your Xander up to level 3. But then I think you struggle with card advantage there too.
Right, because you're ditching 1-for-1s. It's
Right.
just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Where do I go from here?
Right.
Like I'm level 3 now.
Right.
But I have 4 cards in hand.
Yeah, 4 cards in hand, and you're like, oh, I'll reveal them and like gain 3 life and shock you, which is like really good for 0 cards.
Right, like not playing anything and just be like, oh, here's a bunch of damage, here's
Right.
some health. Past turn, no cards in front.
Right. Yeah, nothing to cast. Or
Right,
you're like,
and then-
I'll spend 5, play a veteran Vanguard or whatever.
Yeah,
that
that's
card
not.
is called. The 2/3 with floating memory. It's a 3/2 or is it a 2/3?
I think it's a 2/3.
I think it's a 2/3. It's 5 mana 2/3, no text.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's rough, buddy.
I don't like playing it, but it's like one of those necessity cards.
Yeah, it's like it's first set of the game or whatever.
Right.
Like it's all we got. Like it's a card with floating memory that doesn't have any other requirements.
Right.
So you
It's
play.
like,
to dump
oh,
it.
cool.
Yeah.
We found out last night when I was playing the Rye deck.
Erupting Rye. Yeah.
Erupting Rye, yeah. A lot of those floating memory cards are
They're all
Blast
blast bonus.
bonus,
Yeah.
yeah.
like almost all of them. Yeah, like Flame
So,
Swordsman.
I had, like-
Wheeler Flame Swordsman.
Flame Swordsman. Great card. I love that design.
Ignite Soul too.
Yeah,
both-
yeah.
both flame or, blast
So
bonus.
I had like 5 or 6
5 of it,
floating in
yeah.
there.
But you
and
were
then-
level 0 and you had to
I
do it
was
the hard way.
still Flame Spirit, so I was just like, I can't do this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Felt bad, man.
Did feel bad, man. But I don't know. I think we're still in the, like I said, game's not even out. People are still trying to figure it out. I think there's a lot of potential to be had, especially in the, like I think Rye and Lorraine are both like pretty heavily explored by the community. And Xander is getting there.
Yeah.
I think Sylvie's
I
like
was
baby in
gonna
the
say,
corner.
I think it's time to talk about the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
And it's Sylvie. I've seen a lot of decks.
Yeah.
You had the attack with health deck.
Yeah.
Butt
Butt power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed good on paper.
Yeah. It's just,
in
you need too many
practice-
cards.
In
yeah.
practice, it's real tough because
Yeah.
you have to play a bunch of 1/4s
Right.
that
And
don't do anything.
The 1/6 turtle with no text.
Yeah, the 1/6 turtle that doesn't do anything. You have to play these cards, and then you have to play a 5-drop to make them good.
Right.
And not only
And it's only for a turn, right?
yeah, it's only for a turn,
Yeah.
and not only is it only for a turn, but I believe you have to activate a harmony or
Yeah,
a melody.
I think it has harmonized. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have
Yeah.
to essentially have like 9 cards in hand
Right. It's a little grim.
and cast a bunch of vanilla creatures that do nothing
Right.
in order to hit for 7.
Yeah. I think the problem that she's having right now is that I think Sylvie and Tamer probably in general, but I think Alan plays a little bit differently. But Sylvie really wants to be like this big body board control deck.
Yeah.
But she just gets like run over by Wind Lorraine being the better board control deck
Right.
because all of the like animals and beasts are pretty underwhelming. I think there's like 2 or 3 in the game that I'm like that's a good card. That one does it.
Are we talking about squirrels?
Yeah, like Squirrel's sick.
1/1 for 0.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Squirrel's sick. I think Grey Wolf is pretty good. Just like he's a bear.
Tamed Hawk.
Tamed Hawk. Yeah. Vigor, True Sight is pretty good.
Yeah.
So there's a couple, but I think at least the way that I want it to go. So for those of you who aren't aware, we mentioned it a little bit earlier in the show. Weebs of the Shore is doing a very cool thing, in my opinion, where first edition is the product coming out for Kickstarter, and then Alter Edition is the product coming out for everybody that'll be available in your local game stores. And for Alter Edition, the like unlimited printing, they're adding 5 new cards.
Oh yes.
Which are all not like, they're not like chase cards. They're not like for unlimited edition, we added these 5 new ultra rares for you to chase, money. They're
well,
it's, well, there's still things to chase.
I was gonna say one of them we're looking at right now. That's super rare, my guy.
Yeah, but super rares are like what, 1 in 4 packs or something.
Yeah,
it's
but
not so bad.
It's still it's up there. But speaking of that card,
yeah,
absolutely insane, and I think it's exactly the kind of card that Tamer needed.
Yeah, so they're all 5 of them are for they're for game balance. They they've been keeping an eye on the community, so it's like I think it's 1 water card, it's 1 material deck card, and then it's a fire card that like completes a cycle, and then it's 2 tamer cards to like help Tamer be better.
They're so good.
Yeah, I think they're insane. Yeah, like
they're just it just makes me want to build Sylvie.
Yeah,
with those cards.
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Just like 80 copies of each.
Yeah. Well,
not good, but I'm just saying they're that good.
Like I think you play 4 of both of those.
Yeah,
cards.
definitely 100%.
So the one that Steve was alluding to, which is on our screen that you guys can't see, is Bestial Frenzy, which is like a Tamer Cryptic Command.
Yeah,
it's super crazy.
So 2 cost.
Yeah,
it's a normal element.
Sure. So you can play it everywhere.
Yep. Action, Tamer skill.
Yep.
Choose 1 class bonus. Choose up to 2. So if you're Tamer, you get to choose 2 of these.
Yeah.
First ability, your champion gets +1 level until end of turn.
Great Tamer synergy stuff.
Right. Makes sense. You got
pride to deal with.
Yeah. Right. Second ability, target beast ally gets +1 attack until end of turn.
Also great. Just
take my little 1/1 squirrel, make it a 2/1.
Yeah, 2/1 squirrel. Yeah.
Now I can kill like Swift Recruit.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly what I need. And then the third ability, target beast ally gains cleave until end of turn, which is, I think, the best.
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
That's the best line on that card.
Because like so many decks, like Xander and Lorraine both, Mage doesn't really care. But the other 2, they always play, probably like 3 or 4 copies of a card with cleave because you need board clear.
Right.
Like if your opponent gets out of control, you need something to sweep the board. And that has, I think, one of the big problems with Tamer currently is that you like put a bunch of idiots on the board, but if you're not level 3 Sylvie, they don't have intercept or anything. They're just all like big dummies, and so your opponent just like goes face.
Yeah.
Face plays taunt. I still go face, and they kill you. So like you need some way to clear the board.
Right.
This is a 2-drop.
This is a 2-drop.
It's insane.
And it's not an attack skill.
Right.
This is making your beast ally attack.
Yeah, and they
everything.
Sweep the board. Yeah.
Right. It's great.
And if there's some like big idiot like if you're playing like Silverback or something, it's a God forbid a 6/6 or whatever.
Right.
Like, sweep literally everything in the game.
Right. I don't think anything lives.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Turtle if
sure.
you're playing Turtle.
Butt power.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Bestial Frenzy is really good.
Yeah, I honestly think this card makes Sylvie more playable than she is currently.
I agree. I think it's like a real boon, and I think aside from the fire card, which I'm not super psyched about, we'll get to that. I think the rest of them are all like basically auto includes for the decks that they're built for because they're all like for game balance.
Yeah.
So the other Tamer card is Young Beast Bonder, which is a 2-cost ally Tamer human for a 1/1. Which is not great, 2 mana for a 1/1.
No,
but the text on this card is literally insane.
Yeah.
It is class bonus. On enter, you put a buff counter on another target ally you control. If that ally is a beast, you put 2 buff counters on it instead. And also class bonus, she has floating memory. So she's a 2 mana 1/1 with floating memory, which is great.
It's all right.
It's a body that you put on the board that like your opponent has to deal with.
You're hoping it dies.
Right. But she has like on play give usually 2 buff counters to a thing. You play like Grey Wolf on turn 1 and you put 2 counters on it. You have a 2-mana 4/4.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, I think Young Beast Bonder is definitely one of those cards that just elevates the deck to a new level. Right?
Yeah, I think it's insane.
It just makes your I'm gonna keep going back to the squirrel card because I love that card. It makes your 0/1/1 a 3/3.
Well, I think unfortunately, I think this is the squirrel an animal or is it a beast?
I thought it was a beast, but it might be an animal.
All right, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I guess it's a woodland squirrel, right? Like it's not a tamed squirrel. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
either way.
But
insane,
right?
Insane card for sure.
I'm sure there's so many beast cards in the game that is just going to abuse this.
Yeah, I think a lot of them were like a little bit understated. So I think this is just like 2 mana for a floating memory body that leaves behind 2 counters. Like this is essentially a 2 mana 3/3, right? Because it's a 1/1. It gives 2 counters.
Yeah,
and it's upside when it dies. It's like I don't know.
I'm just gonna cast a card for free.
Literally nuts. And the place that I think I want to take it, which we've talked about a little bit, not necessarily that we want to play Turtle Butt Power because I think that might be a bit too much.
Turtle Butt Power,
but I think there's some real merit to playing Water Tamer. But water's pretty bad. It's like
water
the worst element in the game, I think, by a large margin.
I think I have to agree with you. You know very well that I love water in this game. I love all of the cards in this in blue.
Well, we're both very much support players in all things. So we're both very excited for Cleric, which is very water centric.
I'm very hopeful that Cleric is going to be some ridiculous heal yourself every turn.
I hope so too.
Restoration type thing.
I've long been waiting for that to be the case in Flesh and Blood, and so now that I know that it's coming in this game, I can just bank all of my hopes on Cleric being sick.
Like I feel like a lot of games use life gain as like a combo piece,
right?
And I'm hoping that this game maybe gets more creative.
Yeah, I think so
with their healing.
I think that this game is like pretty divergent. It like very much feels like its own thing. So I'm hopeful for the future that they design.
There's some water cards already that I'm just like, oh, this card's good.
They're super sweet.
Like restoration slash,
restorative slash,
slash. Yeah, that card's great.
It's like 4 mana 3 attack.
4 mana 3 attack heal 3.
Yeah, it's very solid.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it's an awesome card. But that brings us into our next card from Alter. It's Frostsworn Paladin.
I think this might be the best creature in the game. Like, bar none.
Honestly, probably.
It's so nuts.
It's so good. So it costs 3. It's an ally cleric warrior human. It has intercept.
Busted.
On enter, you can banish a card with floating memory from your graveyard. If you do, you draw a card and you buff this card.
Yeah.
With a buff counter, which is +1/+1.
Yeah. So she goes. She's a 2/3 base. So and she goes up to a 3/4 that draws a card. I guess you like banish a floating memory so that you like lose a card advantage to draw a card, right?
Yeah. But you're replacing the card you're losing, right?
Yeah. I think like the staple baseline this creature is hard to move through, right? Is Aeson Protector, which is the wind card, which is it's a 4 mana 3/4 with intercept with a upside downside that it like bounces a dude on play. Which is either a downside if your opponent removes your board while it's on the stack, and then it comes in and bounces itself, or it's upside because you like bounce a dude and replay it because that's the whole win thing. But that's at base is a 4 mana 3/4 with intercept.
Correct.
This card is a 3 mana 3/4 with intercept. It's just better on rate.
Yeah.
Only has upside.
Yeah, and not only that, but it does become a 3/4. Right. On enter.
Yeah,
so it's
huge.
It's fantastic.
It's the same size.
Yeah.
I think this card's insane.
This card is definitely auto include 4 of if you were playing any sort of water deck.
Right. And you get to do so much
I'd also like to point out there's no class bonus on this card.
Yeah, you just
get all of this effect.
Like, you're playing Tamer or whatever, and you want your beasts and stuff. You don't care. You play this card, it's broken.
This card's better than most of your beasts.
Slot it into your deck. You can play your Young Beast Bonder and choose to not give 2 counters and just give 1 counter to this instead, which is probably also fine.
Right? I mean, a 4/5 intercept.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's a lot of cards you have to use to remove that.
And you get to do like lots of nonsense in water where like, when they're trying to like trade their board into this guy, you can tap their stuff down. You can play cards like Give Bath to like remove all of the temporary damage from this card. I don't know. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that this card is a step in the right direction for water.
They do need the help. For sure.
I definitely enjoyed I think the buff counter mechanic would be great to see on more water cards.
I agree. Yeah. Very, very much a tamer thing. I'm glad that this is not a tamer card and sort of has that buff counter synergy. Next on our list is probably also a step in the right direction.
I mean, it definitely balances the game from a 2-deck format. Yeah. Or a 1-deck format, I should say.
Sure. I don't think that Erupting Rise is nearly that bad, but...
I mean... Turn 3 wins are pretty bad.
It's scary.
In games.
I think it's scary for sure.
But this card fixes that problem in my eyes.
So yeah, in Altar we are getting Nullifying Orb as or Nullifying Lantern as an uncommon, which is great. Which is a 0-cost Cleric Regalia, so you play it in your material deck. And all it says, no other text, just says cards in graveyards are normal element. Which is just very clearly been printed to stop the erupting.
It was like
combo.
they started testing the game.
Yeah. And then, this is pretty good.
And then they released it to the public, and the public went, this card is good.
This card's busted.
Erupt and Rye, let's build this deck.
Right.
And then the Weebs of the Shore went, oops.
Yeah.
Didn't think
taking a step back. And I like that this is like a very good way to handle power level of card games is that like this card is very strong. It's the opportunity cost for your opponents to play it is 0. They just get to put it in their deck. It costs 0. Everybody can play it.
Yep.
There's no restrictions, so I think that's really good. But like as the Erupting Rye player, this is not like a death sentence. It means that you have to play something like Burn to Ash to get rid of it.
This isn't like I can't win anymore. Right. There's plenty of ways to get rid of it, or you just do it again next turn.
Well, this card just stays.
Fair enough. So
it's just there until you get rid of it.
You definitely, okay.
Right.
I'm so used to Regalia saying
banish.
Banish.
Like banish. That's what I thought this card was too when I first saw it. It was like, banish, and then it turns off their.
Now that I'm looking at it clearer, no,
it's really good. They have to remove it.
There,
yeah.
Which kind of is a good segment into leading into the next card, because it does have an ability where it kind of affects static things on the board.
Just sits there, yeah.
Yeah. So the last card in the Altar set or the additional cards in Altar that we're getting, is the last fairy, because we have one in all colors except for red currently.
It's a cycle, which is cute.
Yep.
I like
it.
Cycles.
Is awesome.
Yeah.
It is a 3-cost Spark Fairy. It's an ally mage fairy. It's a 1/2. It has stealth. And on enter, you target a non-champion object, and it gains, at the beginning of your recollection phase, deal 1 unpreventable damage to your champion for as long as Spark Fairy remains in play.
Yeah, it's super strange where this is like, it's like a win con in a can if you put it on something that they don't want to remove.
Right. It also like removes stuff that you want them to remove.
Right.
Or if someone plays Null Lantern on you.
Right, you
as the Rye player, you just play Spark Fairy and
really
go,
cute. Yeah.
All right, well,
I didn't even think about that.
I'm just going to sit here and let you take a little bit of extra damage.
Yeah,
until I can kill you.
Yeah, I think it's a good step towards fire decks that are trying to play a little bit more like mid-rangey. Yeah, because a lot of the fire decks are either like your mage combo deck, or they're like very aggressive decks like Fire Lorraine that are just like more like mono red aggro sort of stuff.
Like punch him in the face.
Yeah, and I think this card is a lot better at playing the because fire is really good removal.
Oh yeah, the fire has some of the best cards in the besides like just like 1-for-1 best removal in the game.
Yeah. So this card it fits I think a good niche where like if you're playing a fire deck that wants to like 1-for-1 the board and sort of grind out the game. I think like decks like Fire Xander that if you instead of leaning into the full like floating memory refurbished dumping strategy,
anything that doesn't that I can just not play
veteran soldier. Yeah.
Please, I think don't make me play that card.
I think it's very reasonable for you to like if your opponent like makes a misstep or whatever, and they like play a Regalia that they can't easily get rid of or that they don't want to get rid of, you can put it, like Spark Fairy that. It's just going to deal you damage forever until you deal with it. Or like if it's some, big creature that you can't deal with, you're playing against Sylvie, and somehow they put out, I don't know, the like Terra 10-8 just sits on the board. You're like, well, it'll deal you some damage while I try to chip in.
Yeah.
So I think it's solid. I think probably the worst card of the 5 new ones.
Very clearly the worst one.
But like Fire didn't need the help, right? Like I think it's intentional.
Yeah, and I definitely think this card, like it has its place.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
I think it's a really cool design as well, which is nice.
Oh yeah, she's very cute. But I
that
think,
too. I think the card is very cool. But of course she's very cool.
Well, if we're talking about a weeb card
that's
game,
where I go first.
We have to talk about how cute the art is, right? And I think all 3 of the fairies are adorable.
They're all very cute. Yeah.
The wind fairies, by far the best.
She's crazy. Yeah, she's Reflector Mage on crack.
Yeah. Bounce card, you can't play that card anymore.
Super good. And she has stealth.
Yeah, and she has stealth.
Yeah.
So good luck getting rid of her.
Yeah, I think Wind Fairy's really good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I think Spark Fairy definitely will see play. I don't know in what quantity. I think this is like a good 2 of card.
Sure. Yeah, I'm excited to see. I don't know if because we mentioned a little bit earlier that there's another like big Discord tournament happening tomorrow. I'm actually unsure. I'm not sure if they're using these or if these are.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't tested with these yet ourselves because we wanted to wait.
Right.
But,
now that I think like we as soon as they hit the like official print and play, I'm like comfortable trying them out.
Fair enough. Yeah.
As long as Weebs of the Shore is like they're not officially even print and play released, I'm like not really worrying about it.
Yeah, because the thing I have is like, what if they tweak them a little bit?
Right, I don't know. Yeah, I assume they've gone to the printers because sometime like April.
Yeah,
right?
April. Yeah, so I'm assuming the set's.
So I think we're locked in.
Okay, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I think they'll make a splash, especially the Tamer cards. I'm very excited to play Tamer because as much as I want to play the one cute girl Lorraine
with the swords and
the swords and stuff, which is sick.
And the big green bodies.
Bone of my sword, unlimited blade works, whatever. I do also want to play Sylvie. Sylvie was one of the first decks I built, and it pretty bad.
When you told me about the game and I was looking through the cards, I said, "Oh, Beasts Gamers, that sounds sick. I want to play Sylvie."
Face Tunner, yeah. I guess.
It's just missing a little bit, and I think these 5 cards definitely add to it.
I think this helps a lot.
And the Paladin there, the blue, that water card,
so
I feel like
so good.
I feel like water might actually
be playable.
I
hope so. I think Water Xander could be really, really cool too.
Maybe now that I have a better grasp on the game, we can
come back to it.
We'll relook at Water Xander.
We'll keep you guys updated. Well, I think that is all we have for our show today for you. We appreciate you tuning in. If you made it all the way to the end of our first episode of Lineage Break, thank you very much. Hopefully, you give us a subscription here on YouTube. If you have any advice or questions that you want us to answer, stuff you want us to talk about, feel free to leave comments below down there. You can also find us on Twitter at Lineage Break if you want to add us there. We're also both in the Discord under various pseudonyms. Maybe we'll make some sort of indicator that you can find us on Discord.
Maybe our first Twitter post will just be what our Discord names are if you want to reach out to us and talk to us.
Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't say we are very excited to play Grand Archive. We are very excited about organized play. If you find yourself in the Massachusetts area, please check out Webway Games, which is our local game store where we will be playing Grand Archive and trying to get a Grand Archive community going. There's also lots of great other places that you can play Grand Archive. Of course, there's the TTS tournaments on the official Discord. I know that Tavern Brawlers, who put on a great show, are doing TTS now, and they're going to be switching to webcam once the cards are out, which is great. I'm much more, I'm amicable to playing webcam.
Less comfortable with TTS than I am with webcam.
Right. We're boomers,
Right.
I want to play card games with.
I want to play with people in person, and now that we're coming out of the end of a 3-year issue of not playing in person, and we can play in person again.
Yeah, I just want to play card games.
Yeah, I just want to play card games in big events again.
Right.
I miss the tournament scenes.
Ascent, Houston. We will be there.
Yep, definitely, 100%.
So we will see you there.
I will have some sort of Xander jank.
Sure. Love it. I think the second set is actually going to be out by then.
Yeah.
which is crazy.
It's a supplemental set, though.
Yeah, smaller.
Yeah.
I think it's the same classes as well. All right, we're rambling. Thank you guys for watching. We will be back in 2 weeks with episode 2. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you then.
Have a good one.